Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see you. I'm busy.
We had a thing,
I'm gonna give you the reason it's not gonna probably talk tonight, but this is what's gonna be talked on for a change of speed. Don't make no sense. This is Peter Pond Road, Rosemary Road, Carney Chris, already 35.
I don't think so. I think he's out of town.
40.
No, we're gonna change them all to 30. So they'll all be.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight to the Cheatham County Commission Workshop, October 9th, 2025. First on the agenda tonight is our public forum. Has everybody filled out a sheet that wants to speak and turned it in? First on tonight is Mr. Mike Campbell. Yes, sir. You got to come up here and tell us your name and the area you live in. Thank you, sir. I have 3 minutes. When you get down to about a minute, I'll make a noise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To start with, the commissioners, thank you for the service you give. I know you guys make a lot of money doing what you're doing. I know it. I know it's a gift to the county, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the audience, there's a lot of people that has expressed their opinions, concerns, interest in the development that these guys are wanting to do over on Petway Road, the rustic development. There's a lot of people against it. I heard there's like 1,200 or 1,300 signatures, and then Mr. Hedgepath has spoken, I understand, to over 200, 230 people, something like that, personally. There's an old saying that most of us have probably heard, and that is, we got to watch what we ask for. We might get it. If anyone loves that part of the country down there more than me, I don't know who the person is, but we all love it, and that's why we're all interested in it. But here's the thing. With this development, commissioners have some say. They can negotiate with the developers and say, do this, do that, don't do this, we'll approve it this way, or we're going to vote it down, period. Commission can do what they want to. But tonight, or whenever the vote is, it's going to be not voting for one thing, not giving a thumbs up on one or a thumbs down on just one deal. It's actually two. They'll do the thumbs up on one, it'll automatically be thumbs down on the other. This property's already zoned. It's zoned agriculture. We all know that. It says it right here on the screen. If that property is rezoned to do what the developer's wanting to do with that property, it's my understanding it will be locked in at 120 units, 80 in the hotel, 40 in the residential homes, and they will be rental properties. It's my understanding. I've been told that it's going to bring like $6 million a year to the county. I did a little math on that. That means it's going to bring $1,000 per week, per unit, 365 days a year. So I question the $6 million. But even if it's zero, as long as it doesn't cost the county money. Let's go to the flip side. It's agriculture. They can do 5-acre tracts there. I spoke with someone at the state today. That property can be developed into 5-acre tracts. My property, any of you that's got farms, it can be cut into 5-acre tracts. This commission has no say. The state says that. It says you can cut your property up into 5-acre tracts. If this project is voted down, and I'm not saying I'm for it or against it, I'm just looking at it logically, loving my part of the country over there, along with you guys.
About 15 seconds.
If it's a vote, is that the 1 minute one?
No, oh, you done passed that.
Oh, sorry. I need to hear what I want to say. With the 5 acre tracts, it's going to be 125 acre tracts. And there's nothing the commission can do. Right now, they're asking for 120 units. Commission has a whole lot of say. With 5 acre tracts comes 2.4 kids per household nationally. That's 280 children. What does 280 children tell me? That's a $40 million school. They've got to come up with the land to do that. So they got to put it somewhere. So they go to the corner of on Wesley and Courtney Haynes' property, for instance. They condemn it and they take 30 acres and they build a school on it. Just because one commercial development comes there doesn't mean that others are going to come. But with the 5 acre tracts, guarantee you, there's going to need to be a school there. We're going to have to pay for it. With the commercial, with this rustic development coming, it's going to bring cash flow into our budgets. With the 5 acre tracts, we're going to be spending money maintaining the roads over there, putting the kids through schools. The traffic is going to be worse because there's people living in those houses 365 days a year. People are not going to be in these units 365 days a year. I would suspect that it will be half or less the traffic. So I just want to say, let's open our eyes and look at it from two perspectives. Either the rustic deal is approved where the county can say, you do this, this, and this, and we will approve you. Otherwise, it can go the other direction, and we're paying for a school, we're getting the traffic, we're getting, you understand what I'm saying there. That's really important, I think, for us to all understand, especially the ones that's voted against this. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I can't read the last name. I think the first name, Lisa?
That's me.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm Lisa Knacken. I live on Narrows of the Harpeth, actually right down from Mike Campbell. With all due respect, I think this is a horrible idea for our area. It's agricultural land. It should stay, if anything, it should be park land. We are in a park, the Harpeth River State Park, and that land should just be developed further to enhance this community and have parkland. It's going to cause undue stress on our infrastructure, on the roads, on the community, and I don't believe that adding, X amount of housing is going to be a better option or a worse option. We don't need this development at all. I would not step into somebody else's neighborhood when there's 1,300 people who are opposed to it and say, well, we're going to just go ahead with it anyway. That's not what you do. That's not neighborly. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That's what I would do. And I believe that this is a bad idea for Cheatham County. I think it's going to cause all of us to pay a lot more in taxes to support that kind of infrastructure. The community has spoken strongly against it, and I hope that you will heed that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Richard Savage, is that right?
Yeah, this is pertaining to the rezoning in Bethlehem.
Yes.
No, Tim,
This is a
he's
completely-
under the building commissioners.
Oh, okay,
this
I'm
is-
sorry.
Yeah, gotcha. Appreciate you.
Do we have anybody else that hasn't turned in a form for public forum? All right, close public forum. Mr. Greer, you have an update for us?
Appreciate it, guys. I got to walk through the building a little bit before the meeting, but we're still on schedule. I'll get the dates right this time, November 20th.
Yes.
Turn it over to the county. week before Christmas, December 20th, that they'll start occupying. Courtrooms, we're getting millwork. They're starting to look like a courtroom. The jail side is just about complete, just little loose ends. We've got to seal the floors. We're going through punching it out now. Seed and straw, did all the landscaping we're going to do last week. Got it down before it rains, so hopefully grass will be growing quick. Next Monday, we start paving. By your next meeting, we should have it paved or paving completed and striped. So things are coming together. That's all I have. This is the hectic part of a job when you're trying to make everything work and come together. Anybody got any questions on anything?
It looks fantastic.
What about our maintenance building?
I've got nothing to do with that.
If you're through with the jail, we'll talk about the maintenance building. It's on the schedule.
So everybody, when is the schedule for the regular tours of the jail?
They're every other Tuesday. Every other Thursday at 2:30. It'll be next Thursday, 2:30. We meet out here on the side at the front of the building. You're talking about the county maintenance building, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not working on that.
I can speak to that, because
Yeah.
it keeps moving along. They have the concrete in, the plumbing, and they're starting to put walls up, so it's moving right along. I talked to Josh yesterday, Josh Wright. They're finishing out the drainage and to get that bid out, outside of the building, get it to the building, so we'll be bidding that out, hopefully here as soon as that is designed. So it's moving along, doing well.
We've got the retention pond.
Yes.
They're pretty much finished above it to turn the water. Hopefully.
You're looking good up there.
You said the courtrooms be January, right?
Yeah, we don't put those into operation until January. We're going to start. We've got to fix a way to get the public. They're going to enter through this quarter here. We're going to come in December 12th and start. We can tear that wall out. And, January 13th, maybe December 13th. We're going to start construction. You'll notice it here. We're going to hang some plastic up. And January, we should have it pretty much complete. They're not going to put this courtroom back into operation until after we finish the other building. We've got a lot of construction work to do in JJ's office, tearing out all those walls and remodeling that. But that's our plans. We will disrupt here a little bit in December.
They won't be holding court in here, but we'll be meeting in here?
Yeah. The sound system, you didn't want to move and the streaming, didn't want to move all that to the other courtroom.
So if you come over on next Thursday at 2:30,
Next Thursday, if JJ leads that, it says,
so will you be here?
yeah.
Do not go in any rooms with this man. He'll get you locked in. I had me worried there for a little bit. Called the mayor, he clicked me off.
Yeah. Nobody would answer us.
All right, anybody else have anything for Mr. Greer? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything for under new business?
Mr. Chairman, I think we need to pass a resolution that from this day forward, any veteran, the last veteran of any war or any kind of skirmish or whatever we've had, that in the future, the last man standing in the flags in this county will be lowered to half staff.
Cheatham County veteran.
What?
Cheatham County veteran.
Yeah, any Cheatham County veteran, yes, any Cheatham County veteran.
So do you want to put that on the agenda for next month, the 20th?
Yes, sir, I would. we've had a World War II veteran, 101 years old, pass away. There's been some controversy about whether or not to lower the flags. And I don't think that's a given. I mean, anybody that's served their country and all, especially if he's the last man standing,
Is that okay to put that on the agenda with everybody? All right. Anything else for new business? Building department.
Yes, Chairman Franklin is off this evening. There's one item for your consideration this month. Adam Profit requesting a zone change from agriculture to R1 for map 67, parcel 17. Property is located at 3026 Petway Road in the 5th voting district and is not in a special flood hazard area. When the Planning Commission took this up, they did make a recommendation to approve this in a 5-to-1 vote. From the planner, it says the applicant is requesting to rezone, located, of course, at 3026 Petway Road. The parcel is plus or minus 7.8 acres and is currently zoned agricultural and is not in a special flood area. The parcel appears to have a single structure, a mobile home, and has access to public water along Petway Road. And they had several people speak out actually against this who live in that area at the Planning Commission, but that's what happened at the Planning Commission. And there it is on the map that you can see that's up on the screen now.
Mayor, what's the total of the
It was give or take right around 7.8 acres on that one tract.
We have two individuals that want to speak on this item tonight. Mr. Richard Savage.
Speaking about that piece of property, but there's a creek that runs directly down the back edge of that piece of property, feeds several farms with livestock and agricultural. It's agricultural property for a reason. It's not residential. It is set up for agriculture. In 1921, when the state of Tennessee set up this commission, they did it for this purpose, to be able to break residential away from agriculture. And I just think it should stay the way it is. Cheatham County's not ready for that. I mean, Petway's not ready for that. There's no city sewer out there, and anybody that lives in Cheatham County knows that it don't take one tree root or a box of tampons to mess up a sewer system or a septic system and cause it to run out on the ground. And that creek running behind there is a very sensitive ecosystem. And it runs directly into the Harpeth River less than a half a mile from that, which there's 85 different species of fish that live in the Harpeth River itself. I just think it's a bad idea to stack a bunch of houses on the side of a hill, because the grade on that hill, I can promise you it won't perk. Land in Petway don't perk very well anyway, and I can promise you that land won't perk. But anyway, that's all I've got to say about it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's Lloyd Harris.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I go to Mike.
I'm sorry.
Name's Michael Harris. I appreciate y'all's time. I've lived in Petway my whole life. Grew up farming with my granddad. And I'm out in the community a lot, and cookouts, different things. And without fail, every time one of us, someone will say, guys, we're so blessed to have this community and have where we live. It's a truly magical place out there. People come from, that don't live in the community, and they'll say it's just not places like this anymore. It's an area that it's peaceful. It's peaceful, and we have a certain way of life out there. And, what kind of bothers me, once things start getting passed and changing the zoning, there's a lot of farmers out there that they've got land they can sell. Even my family's got land that you know, my family, other families, farmers have land, and if they wanted, they could probably sell it and make millions of dollars. But everyone out there realizes that, you know, there's more to having quality of life than money. You know, for generations, people have passed places down to cousins and brothers, and no one's sold out there. There's, you know, a lot of farmland. Everyone understands that we have a special quality of life out there, and everyone I know opposes any kind of, you know, like you said, the code is the way it is for a reason. You know, it's agriculture, and I think once certain people see the zoning, they're going to think, well, it's a lost cause. I might as well sell the farm. Next thing you know, this magical place we all live in, it'll be subdivision after subdivision. You know, there's not many places like that left around here. I mean, even outsiders say it, and we love it up there. I mean, other than my people, there's nothing I care more about. You know, I just, you know, I'm here, and everyone in the community, we're basically trying to voice our opinion and fight for our way of life, you know, and it's nothing I care more about. I appreciate y'all's job and appreciate you giving me a moment to speak.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know whether anybody else received it. I got an email today from a gentleman that lives at 3040 Petway Road that was also opposed to the project.
Mr. Chairman, I've just been handed a petition with quite a few names opposed to this rezone. We sat in here 2 months ago and fought. I mean, we went through it for months over an area on East Sears that was in the urban growth plan, and it was considered spot zoning because someone wanted to build 2 houses on 2.4 acres each. This, if we split it into 3 lots, becomes 3 2.6 acre lots. And I'm assuming it's not spot zoning because there is R1 right beside it. Is that the reason, Mr. Bly?
There is R1 right beside it, so even a planner would say it's not spot zoning, but changing to residential in an agricultural area is really not spot zoning anyway.
But this is definitely not in the urban growth plan or the planned growth development area.
Anyone else? You said the vote was 5-1?
It's 5-1 to approve. Make sure I read that right. Motion passed by roll call vote. 1 no, yes, 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 yes. Yeah, 5-1. They approved it. To move it forward, their recommendation to this body.
And yet the one 2 months ago that was in the planned growth development, they all voted against.
So on the, I don't know who's gonna know this, on the, if it was split up into 3, you have to have at least an acre, right, to be on septic?
You have to have an acre for R1. So theoretically, you could divide it up into as many 1 acre lots as you could get out of that. It's going to be limited by the amount of required road frontage, and it's also, I suspect, limited by the septic. That you would have to have enough area and soil that would perk to be able to put in septic systems for 3 lots, or for however many lots you could get out of it.
Because I've heard in some of the planning meetings, like this one, I guess, goes out to a point. There's some rule they have to meet. I've heard them say that in that.
There is, basically, it's to prevent flag lots where you have a real narrow section, so it's a 4-to-1 ratio. So I don't know what the measurements are on the road frontage there. I would suspect you could, at most, you'd be looking at 3 or 4 lots that you'd be able to get out of it. Don't quote me on that, but it is because of the shape of the lot and the ratio requirements, it's unlikely you could get 7 lots out of it, even if it's over 7 acres.
So when the planner looked at it, they felt they could get 3 lots.
The planner doesn't really look at that. They just-
That was what was requested by the person asking to divide it up. Said there was one, he wanted to create 2 additional building lots for a total of 3.
But that doesn't guarantee that once the zone's changed,
That's correct. If the zoning is changed, then they would be entitled to divide it up in as many lots as will fit the subdivision regulations. So that's going to get into how much road frontage they have available.
So he requested 2, if you changed it, then he could essentially put 3 or 4 more, right? Is that what you're saying?
Theoretically, I
Yeah.
don't know if you've got the road frontage, and I don't know if you've got the soils that'll perk to support
Right.
those.
So if you zone it to R1, then it's up to him to figure out how many he can put on there, whether it's 1 or 6. As far as his site plan and all
Yeah,
that.
if he can make it work, I mean, if it's over 7 acres, then theoretically it's 7 lots, but he has to meet all the requirements, and it's extremely unlikely you'll be able to get 7 lots. And with the road frontage requirement, it's, just eyeballing it, it looks like 3 or 4 would be the most.
You still have to go through the state for perking and all that for septic.
Still have to get, I mean, you can divide it up into lots, but you can't build on them if you can't get the approval from the state.
All right, anybody else have any questions? This will be on the agenda Monday night. This is just discussion on,
a week from Monday.
I mean, on the 20th, yes. Anybody? All right, moving on. Just for the public to know, we don't vote on anything at our workshop. It'll be moved to the commission meeting on the 20th. That'll be when the vote on this item here come up. All right, Bush.
Thank you, Chairman. We did meet as a budget committee this afternoon, had several items before the committee. First item, budget amendments in county general. Everything we did approve this afternoon was 4-0 with 1 absent. So the first item in county general, in the jail, $40,188.43. Transfer to unused funds from the prisoner boarding reserve to purchase signed blanks and materials for the new jail. It's got a breakdown there, cubicles, desks, filing cabinets for the 3 new sergeant positions added in the current budget, and evidence packaging system for the new jail. Next item is other general government projects for $17,313. This is transfer available funds from the VSRO reserve to pay a portion of the architect fees for the design of the Veteran Services Office expansion project. The overall fees were $24,046. 72% is that. The other 28% we would pick up if this is approved from the Sycamore Square Reserve for $6,733.08. And then also at the building, $15,000 transfer funds from, this is building codes, transfer funds from the county general fund balance to cover a shortage in the building and codes budget due to charges for the Cheatham County subdivision regulations, technical guidelines and standards, and several subdivision site reviews. And then the last item in this first batch is $14,350, transfer funds from county general fund to send 7 people to Washington, D.C. for the National Police Week, which is 5 days to the 5th year anniversary of Deputy Stephen Michael Reese's death. This covers the lodging, airfare, and which you see on the next page. It's got a breakdown of that $14,350. Anything on item 1?
Any questions?
Okay.
All right.
Then the next item, we come into item 2, Highway and Public Works, $110,000. This would be to transfer funds from the highway fund balance to purchase a Kubota with attachments, and he has attached the invoice showing that that expense of the $110,000. And Mr. Bob's here if you have any questions.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
maybe I missed it. 1B,
1B was only the committee.
That's all right. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'll be glad to review it, but that was in,
I'm sorry.
that was in that one department just moving to take care of a transfer unused funds for a title change from existing employee. This is down in the Chancery Court, and also to cover an employee payout, the one who was retiring. But that was all internal. It was all in their budget. They weren't asking for any more money, so we did that within the committee. All right, moving on past the tractor. Item number 3, other capital projects. This is $8,600. Transfer from the opioid settlement funds collected to make a contribution to Hustle Recovery Incorporated to cover half the cost of Narcan treatments for 1 year, as well as half the requested amount for printing and the full cost for 4 carrying library boxes. Is the $8,600. This request came through the opioid committee, through the budget committee today. They had requested a full year. This is to distribute Narcan in several areas across the county. They're looking for get the biggest bang for the buck where they're really needed and try to set those up. What the opioid committee approved and sent on to the budget committee, which was also approved tonight, would be, let's look at it for half year. We'll look at it at the end of 6 months and see how well they're doing with this program. So they asked for a full year. This is a half year. And the other reason for this is that in the past several years, they've had stimulus funds coming out of Washington, and they've had plenty of money to buy Narcan to stock it, and that's kind of where they were starting with this. Those funds have been pulled back. And so this is from the opioid settlement. We also are setting this up as a reimbursement. They have to spend the money, have the receipts, they turn it into accounting, and we'll reimburse up to the $8,600.
May I explain what that is, if anybody, maybe everybody knows? It's the free Narcan vending machines.
What's the boxes?
Yes.
Yes.
Or the boxes.
Yes. Not a vending machine, it's a box.
Right.
Just reach in there and get you a pack of it. Any questions on that? All right, item number 4, general purpose school. The first item is $921,000. This is transfer of funds from the general purpose school fund balance to give bonuses for employees in the general purpose school fund, including cafeteria employees. This breaks down to $1,000 for full-time and $500 for part-time. And the second item is $349,000. This would transfer funds from the general purpose school fund balance to fund athletics and fine arts bonuses for teachers. And Director Brown is with us. Do you have any questions? Any questions on those two?
Director, this is going to help?
This will, and I know that we had conversations about this last month about that being added to our budget, so we decided not to add it to our budget until next budget season. But we felt it was an important thing to do, so we're asking it in the form of a bonus, and then at the end of each season, the coach or teacher will get that extra bonus this time. So it will not affect the budget line for supplements.
But they will get the money you were planning to
Yes.
help them with.
Yes. And then the other bonus is the one that we usually normally give in December every year.
Any other questions?
Any questions on these two items?
Item number 5 is also somewhat connected with this. Extended school program. This is the operation of non-instructional services, $37,000. This would transfer funds from extended school program fund balance to give bonuses to those employees in the extended school program fund. Still $1,000 for full-time employees and $500 for part-time. Any questions on that? Okay, after that, we then went into the request of the capital outlay note from ed debt in the amount of $3,779,982. This is part of that multi-year program to replace and upgrade the HVAC, HVAC in schools, and Kyle gave us a list of those schools. It's going to impact quite a few schools this upcoming year.
We were going to do all of Pegram Elementary, West Cheatham Elementary, and then other schools as needed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. So that would be on that to secure that from ed debt, which is sitting in ed debt right now. That was passed by the Board of Education 6-0, and like I said, we passed it 4-0 with one absent out of the Budget Committee this afternoon.
Now, that amount is what's in our ed debt for air conditioning. for
That's
this
what
year.
was in the schedule, yes, sir. Hearing no questions, the next is a second capital outlay note request resolution for $350,000. This would go to architect and design fees for the school maintenance and tech building that's proposed for Sweet Home Road at or near the site of the current transportation facility. And this would be for the architect design fees. And this is also was added to ed debt schedule this year with the understanding that next year they have requested to put in $7 million to build this facility. And we talked about it in the budget committee. We need to see, I think it would be the only right thing to do, frugal thing to do, is make sure everybody's comfortable to build this building next year. Because if we don't have a majority to build the building next year, we shouldn't spend $350,000. But it is in the ed debt. We placed it during budget time in those steps. So it was part of that.
And
So we'll make sure y'all are aware of that.
Push the new school back, I don't remember.
Yes.
So we pushed it back, so that money is in there for this building.
Yeah, but that's definitely something we need to know. If you're not in favor
Well, yeah.
of the UTEC building, we definitely don't need to go through with those plans.
And that was part of putting it in that line item in ed debt was in the understanding that the school wouldn't be needed and we could push it out toward the ed debt schedule worked. Even, when did you say,
32.
32, I think it's 32.
So there's still plenty of money going, there's still money going in ed debt to cover what we've got scheduled in it so far.
And the reason that we're asking for the maintenance tech building, so you probably know that we pulled maintenance back in-house. We were outsourcing maintenance for many, many years, and we pulled maintenance back in the house. So pulling that back in the house, we have many supplies, we have trucks, and then we have parts that we have to now keep an inventory of. So we didn't plan that when we built the transportation center. We only planned that for a transportation center. So we need the extra room to house maintenance, and then it would also house all of our tech stuff. Right now, it's in the basement of Cheatham High, and one of the CTE classrooms is where the main tech office is.
And the old maintenance shack over behind the church, when I was on school board, it flooded. I think it's probably flooded once or twice since then. So, I mean, that's not even a feasible area to
No.
even look at.
So I would ask you to consider that.
Any questions? I mean, are we under, I know we don't vote in these meetings, but we just kind of need to know a nod or a show of hands. Do we need to spend this $350,000? Are we still in favor of moving forward with this building for the maintenance and the tech?
How many years is the $7 million being stretched out?
We would be, so if you approve the $350,000, we would start work July of next year. We would be asking for the $7,000, and hopefully it would be finished in that year's timeframe. So in the 26, 27 school year, that would be finished.
Mr. Mayor, I think, how many year note would we put that on?
I'm sorry?
Do you know how many year note we had looked at putting that $7 million on, or is that just figured in the schedule?
Well, it's in the schedule. So again, at $7 million, it could be paid for out of ed debt with you wouldn't have any debt or carried out on a note.
Well, we just have to have a note and then pay it off.
Well, we borrow from ourselves basically to technically satisfy a debt we've created that.
But we have the money in that debt just to pay it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And by pushing that school out, it'll maintain a good, healthy balance all the way through if we do pull the trigger on that school in 2032.
And that's why we had asked for it in 2 groups, because we needed a full year of planning before we were going to do that. So we had put that in EdNet for 2 different years.
All right, any other questions?
You said that we're using a classroom somewhere.
We're using a CTE classroom. It was the shop classroom in the bottom of Cheatham High School, right beside the ag classroom where Mr. Majors and Mr. Locker taught for years.
And Mr. Jimmy Maxson.
Yes, yeah.
All right, is there a problem with using that? I mean, why?
Well, we need that space where our CTE programs have been expanding year by year, and we could really use that space to host another CTE program. And no, it's a fine space, but we could utilize that space to offer more things for our students. Like, we've just upgraded the welding facility, and we're trying to put in MEPS, which is HVAC and plumbing. And so we kind of need that location if we're going to expand our career options.
I'm confused. We're talking about the old high school up here,
Cheatham High.
the old high school up here on Elizabeth Street.
No. We're talking about Cheatham County
Okay.
Central High School.
The round building.
The round
Okay.
school, yes.
Okay.
And it's in the bottom on the back side of the gym, where we have an agriculture classroom, we have a mechatronics classroom, a welding classroom, then we have a band room. So they occupy one of the large classrooms. It's literally a wood shop class.
Well, I know East Cheatham School has got a room out there that's not being used for students because of the fire marshal. And, I mean, could that not be used for storing
Well,
something?
we're gonna take care of that, of the room at East Cheatham pretty quickly.
I got a question. Could you explain in-house maintenance for me?
Okay. They do all of the electrical work, all of the HVAC work, all the plumbing work, like that. We sometimes have to outsource for something very specific, but they take care of the day-to-day operations of our school building.
You're talking about county employees will be doing this.
That we've currently been running it for the last 2 years, yes.
How long?
2 years,
Okay.
Yeah, this is our second year.
yeah.
I manage those two departments, the transportation facility and the maintenance. I've got, the transportation facility in itself was designed for buses and that nature. I've got parts for maintenance. I've got conduit. I've got electrical boxes. I've got wire. I've got plumbing fixtures. I got all kinds of stuff that are overflowing into our bays because we're doing the maintenance in-house now. We've had equipment, but our maintenance department.
But our
If they're-
maintenance department are skilled, like,
Yeah.
they're not just someone off the street putting in electrical. They are skilled electrical workers, skilled HVAC workers.
Correct.
Like, they all are very knowledgeable about the specific job that they do, but we do hire them in-house.
We got a water main broken, we're digging it up and we're fixing it. We're not having to outsource that and pay a contractor to come in and do it. We do it in-house. We do it the right way. So it has actually been spot on accountability wise, bringing it back in-house. We're able to have our thumb on the pulse and manage it a lot better than it was if we had a contractor. Not saying the contractor didn't do a good job, but those are our schools. Those are our facilities. We need to have the ownership of that. We have ownership of it now, and it's a lot easier. It saves us money in the long run. We have equipment now that where we can do these kind of things. We have, skid steers. We have freaking, mini X's, so we can dig up these lines and fix this stuff. We've got skilled people. Got a new HVAC guy that's getting ready to come on board. Very skilled, who's going to help us along with our HVAC program. It's a very competitive field out there, and we need more space and separate the two departments because transportation is very busy in itself too. So it's not a
When we built
one.
transportation, we were outsourcing maintenance.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Say that again.
When we built the transportation department, we were outsourcing maintenance 100%.
Yeah.
They were not our employees at that time.
So you're good with it. You like this. You like this in-house maintenance.
I do. I do.
It is 100% better, like things are done in a timely manner, communication is much better at the schools, like it has been a great thing to bring that back in-house.
Cal, when they done all the work out there at Cheatham Central, some of your guys did some of the electrical work, didn't they?
Some of the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we ran it up. We dug the trenches, we laid the conduit. The only thing CMC had to do, they had to pull their own wire. But it saved us thousands and thousands of dollars doing it ourselves. We put our own units, we put our own strut stuff up there, we put our own boxes up there. We have skilled people working on this stuff.
And they're from the community and they're very proud of
Yeah.
the work that they do.
So, this isn't a want, this is a need. We need to expand. And in the IT department, they've got a lot of stuff they have to do too. So if we're gonna have a building that big, we share that space and we can free up the learning space at Cheatham High. So I think it's a win for this community and the school district.
So like the IT department, what all do they
Well,
take
they
care of?
install, they fix computer, like they do all the installation of anything that we're running you into, the schools, they manage the cameras, they manage all of our technology, like every aspect of that, they also are hands-on,
How many grades now have computers?
all.
How many people does it take to float this boat we're talking about? Yeah.
So I have 9. I have 2 electricians. I've got one HVAC guy, but I'm gonna have another one, a real seasoned one, coming on board. I have some plumbers, and then I have some general maintenance techs. And then I have, another manager that oversees it. I got a heavy equipment operator as well. So yeah, we got quite a bit. Night and day from where we were.
And we have 6 people in technology that maintain the entire school district.
Yeah. I think the important thing is the accountability. We have more accountability and more vision of what we're doing in our school district and our buildings by doing this. So the consideration of this building would be tremendous.
So how long did we farm out the maintenance? How many years did we farm that out?
So I've been here 13 years and it's been farmed out every year, but my last 2 years here.
It started when I was on the school board.
I was gonna say, I think it was about 2011 or 12, because when I was a principal at Kingston Springs, we were still, we had it in-house, and I don't think we moved that year, so I would think it was 2011 or 2012.
Anybody else have any questions on this?
All right, going on into the budget, asked Miss Rachel to bring around, if you've got your budget packet, this is in there, but if not, I wanted to make sure everybody had in front of them the bid tally from September 30th, 2025. We opened bids for the VSO office expansion and renovation, as well as some upgrades and some changes out at Sycamore Square in the current existing office space. So once everybody gets that, I'll go over this total and so you can see it. We had a total of 8 bids. I think everybody's got it now. We've had a total of 8 bids between page 1 and 2, if you need that. And the bids range from $356,290 up to $783,506 on the 8 spread there. And the way this is broken down and the way it was bid, your base bid is your VSO area. That's the renovation of the Pizza Hut next door to bring the offices in, go into the existing office space, do some upgrades, create a soundproof conference room, other things that they requested and wanted. So the base bid is VSO. And then we requested it this way because then we could find out how much was in each area on how we needed to go about funding it. The alternate bid are the rest of the upgrades and changes in the existing office spaces. In the clerk's office, which is Abby Short, it's some sound baffling, sound deadening. When they get real busy, we've got where just sound goes everywhere in there. It's very hard, especially since they put up the glass during the COVID time. The sound just bounces everywhere. It's very difficult to hear, so it's some soundproofing. Also expand a closet area that's up near the front that has that vacuum system for the outside. Isolate the vacuum system and make that a bigger office. She needs another office up front in this. And then if you go across the hallway to the trustee's office and Miss Cindy Perry, is to enclose another office there, move a door, install several outlets. They've got strips running everywhere because of fans and heaters or whatever she's got all going in there. And so we had to go back and put some extra breakers in there as they were throwing breakers. But this also would put them on the wall, eliminate all those power strips she's got going. And then also create a break area for them in that existing space. And then the only other part that's in that alternate bid is back in the Register of Deeds, is to put a doorway that would go from the Register of Deeds into that back break room. And the reason for that would be an escape route if a fire or something was happening in that lobby. Right now, all of those officers would have to go out into the lobby in order to exit the building. This, if we've got all those offices connected, this would continue that. So if they had to escape for a fire escape, anything going on in the lobby, they could come through that break room and get outside without having to go through the lobby. So it's just that door there in the Register of Deeds. So that's all in that alternate bid that you're seeing. And so any questions on what we're doing? I mean, the VSO, the Pizza Hut is going down to totally be demoed and then built back. They're talking about 4 offices over in the Pizza Hut area. Of course, renovate the existing restroom that's there. And then in the existing area, the 2 offices would be widened and become 1 for a conference room that's somewhat soundproof if they're dealing with veterans. And then there's an opening, it would open between those 2 spaces to make it 1 space in that hallway it goes down through there. So that's what's going on with that. Now, as you look at the bids, like I said, we had the low bid, and on that low bid, of course, anytime we take bids, Rudy reviews them and says they've got everything covered or they don't have everything covered. One thing they didn't provide was one of the requirements, which was in the bid specs before they even started and they collected bids, was that if you are the one, you either needed to provide up front or within 24 hours, if your bid was the low bid, provide to the county, what products they're using to make sure it matches, what vendors they're using or subcontractors, so make sure they're licensed and bonded and all this good stuff. And on that first one, that justice guy, the justice man that was there was representing Justice Farms, he was told you got 24 hours, and he didn't provide it. He said something about a door, his door vendor or supplier couldn't get him the information. So in that, Rudy said that we should definitely consider disqualifying that one. And then if we do that, we go to bid number 2. MDI had in their specs and in their proposal up front all that information. The vendors are using, the products are using to make sure it matches up with the design and everything that the architects put together. The other thing about these bids is that they have contingency money built into them. So in case we run into something, I mean, what's over in Sycamore Square, what's there is there. We're not expecting, you never know, but we're pretty comfortable with what's happening in those existing offices. VSO, Pizza Hut, when we tear those walls out, we could find, that's not what we can find. But anyway, if something comes up, contingency money is built into here, so we're not coming back with, if they have a change order, that's built into that price, so to speak. And if we don't use it, obviously it would lower the price and we wouldn't use it at the end of the project. But,
And that is a demo of the Pizza Hut.
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that includes all that, yeah.
Okay, that's everything.
Yeah, that includes everything, and would get us in good shape. And then the only thing outside of this would be the architect fees, and that's what we covered earlier in item 1, that would be paid from the VSO reserve and Sycamore Square. And again, the 72% on the VSO and 28%, we took the MDI bid, if that's the one you take, and broke it down. The VSO construction is 72% of that bid and 28% on those other ones, to make it fair of who's paying for their, basically, we didn't want to put all that architecture, we didn't want to split it down the middle, we didn't want to put it all on VSO, even though they had still had some money left in their reserve. So the recommendation is to consider the MDI construction bid, that base bid, which would cover VSO, at $411,000, $374.56. The alternate bid at $160,411.62 for a total on this project of $571,786.18. They'd have 180 days from the start date to get this completed. Of course, most of it's down in VSO. Those areas are down in the existing offices. I think one might have been about 45 days in Abby's space to do what they were doing, maybe 60 days, 45 to 60 days. And the other ones were like 45 and I think 10 days on that in the register of deeds to put a door in. So it could be completed in the 6 months. I can tell you MDI, 911, that was the contractor for 911. It built out 911. They're out of Springfield, and they're the ones who built out 911, did a good job. Any hiccups they ran into, they took care of quickly. And BJ's on that board, so he probably has more dealing with them than I did, because like I said, it all went through the
They're a
911
very good
board.
group to work with.
Yeah.
And he's right, you find any discrepancies or they realize they have any discrepancies that you wasn't aware of, they're honest enough that they'll find them and fix them. They were easy to work with too.
Any questions on MDI or any of the other bids?
It's nice to see that amount of people put a bid in.
It was, Rudy was he couldn't believe on a project this size, we had that many. He said that people were getting a little bit hungry or trying to get set up for winter or something, that we had. It was good to have that much participation in the bids. And then we also discussed at the budget committee, if y'all accept the MDI and want to go forward with MDI on the number 2 bid there, and of course I always get asked, well, Mayor, how are we going to pay for this? And so in the VSO section, which is the $411,374.56, after the architect fees are still $16,918.34 in the VSO reserve. If we take that toward the project, that leaves $394,456.22. In our current, up-to-date, with everything pulled out of it that we've spent out of the county general fund balance, is $10,752,329.20. So we are making a recommendation, if you go with MDI, to cover that $394 be out of fund balance. We don't have to borrow any money to make this happen. And then on the Sycamore Square, where the $160,411.62, the current fund balance, and this is still probably about a month or two back on even rents we've collected. We collect about $30,000 a month in rents, or actually it's a little bit more than that. But at 274 in that reserve and balance, we can pay the 160 for those improvements out of Sycamore Square, not touch fund balance or any other tax revenue.
Any questions? All right, we'll make a motion Monday night, for which bid we want to take, but I think the budget committee, do we recommend on the MDI?
Well, that's up for the commission. I mean, that's a recommendation we took through there, and we took that in order to funding what it would take to make that one work. But again, it would be, if y'all approve MDI, then we work on getting a contract back. Or if y'all approve it contingent upon the attorney okay with the contract, we can move that forward and then get them to work pretty quick as soon as we get a contract hammered out.
All right, we'll see this on the 20th.
Yes, absolutely. Thank y'all for that. If you have any questions, let me know. And then the other item we took up into the budget committee, but we basically sorted it out, but said we're moving this to the full commission for y'all to hammer out. You may recall last month, Commissioner Hedgepath requested to look at putting another $250 out of the impact fee over into the highway fund. And you may recall, y'all took the impact fee up to $7,500. And that was for $250 for the highway. And then we had $3,750 for the ed debt. And then we had, was it $3,750 it was reserved or the $3,500? The rest of it's going to ed debt, but of that $7,500, I can't remember if it was $3,750 or $3,500.
$3,750 went to ed debt, $3,500 went to restricted ed debt.
So went into the restricted ed debt. And you may recall that was for make sure that's brick and mortar. That $3,500 being reserved and used strictly for brick and mortar. I mean, we talked about if you were going to take $250, if you took it from that goes into everything else for ed debt right now, then both with the reserve, the specific ed debt for the brick and mortar and the open ed debt money would both be $3,500 apiece. That would be $7,000, and then you could increase your highway part to $500. But again, that's up to y'all. We looked at it that way, but again, we did make a recommendation out of the budget committee, said y'all could tackle that and figure out what y'all are best with. Is that what you had in mind, Commissioner Hitchcock?
So on the 20th, we'll have somebody make a motion how to break this up and vote on it. Everybody okay with that? Any questions? All right.
Now we get to do the mayor's section. On the mayor's thing, just two items, actually one we've already basically taken care of with the review the bids for the VSO and other Sycamore Square renovations. The other one item that would be up for your consideration this month, I mentioned it last month, and Michael has been pulling information on this, so we're going to definitely get him involved with this for any questions. You may recall, I said if we could start to work to put in Mary Littleton's hands in this next session, a private act that would allow Cheatham County to go to 7 school districts after the redistricting of the census in 2030, so it'll be 2032 when this will take effect. It would allow the county to then consider 7 districts. You may recall in 2020, that's where we were kind of heading, and then we hit a headstone because when the school board was set up, it was a limit of 6. We can go up to 11 by state law, but Cheatham County set up 6 only. And we wrestled back and forth, well, if we could do 6 school districts and then still make 7 commission districts. And that would be a nightmare for election office, much less people in general, because they would totally be confused. I get confused enough now, I'm afraid. And so we stayed with the 6 districts. But when we did that, that's the reason District 5 runs everywhere from Pegram all the way up into Ashland City. Because the growth was up north, so to keep the 6 districts is what drove that such a district in such a large area. So by 7, we feel like we could get it back to somewhat normal or back in place kind of like it was. And if you were to do that, it would be 7 school board members, in which you give them an odd number in case they ever got into a tie situation like it did a few years ago. That hadn't happened in a long time. And then it would create, if y'all so decide, it would go 14 commissioners, because you'd have 2 from 7 districts. And Michael can give you the insight on this, anything else you want.
Do you have any questions on it?
If we started the process and it was approved and we could go to 7, do we have to go to 7?
I'm not sure how long they would give you to decide, so it's by private act, and all private acts require local approval. So the county commission the legislature passes it, and the county commission has to approve it by 2/3 majority. I'm not sure that there's a deadline on how long you have to do that. I mean, normally there is. It says you have to do it within a certain number of months.
Okay.
I don't know if they would let you do it sort of open-ended, that you could decide, however many years out we are now, 6 years from now, that you could elect then to do it. I can look into that.
I'd like to know.
Yeah, because I'd hate to have to do that again
Yeah.
before we have to, that redistrict.
Well, you won't have to redistrict any sooner. It would not go into effect. You could decide now to go to 7, but it wouldn't go into effect until after the next redistricting. But the question, as I understand it, is can we get approval to do it and not pull the trigger on it until farther down the road?
That was my question.
But we wouldn't have to do it until it was time to redistrict again.
2032.
Well, it wouldn't go into effect until then. What Commissioner Lovell is asking is, when would you have to make the decision if the private act is passed next session? I'll be glad to look at that. But you're still probably going to have to, well, let me look at it, and I'll report back at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
The 7 districts were discussed in 2010 after that census. And it talk about making the sausage. It broke down because there was one commissioner at the time that was south of the river, and I don't like talking about north and south of the river, but he was south of the river, and he didn't want more commissioners north of the river than there already were. And so they battled back and forth, and some kind of deal was cut. I don't know what it is, but they left it with 6 districts. And then this last time, y'all were all a part of that, or most of y'all were part of that, where 7 would have really balanced out. You could have created a 7th district basically on 49 between Ash City and Pleasant View. You already would have your precinct there at Sycamore High School rather than having 2 in the 4th district. So it really would take some of that 4th, some of the 2nd, a little bit of the 3rd, but really those 2, and you balanced them out. It was balanced out that way. So really the last 2 rounds, 7 would have been a nice number to have in hand. The other concern would be And why we're wanting to do this is not because, like I said, everybody's saying, well, it's 2032. Well, if we leave it by the wayside and we get to where after we get the consensus, we may not be able to get it through the legislature, and we're going to be stuck with 6 again. So I just wanted it on the table, if we get it approved, so that they don't have to worry about that. Whenever they get the census numbers back, if 7 works, they can go full speed ahead, but there'll be 7 school districts, 7 commission districts, as opposed, I can't imagine a nightmare. We're going to have 6 commission districts and we'll have, or 6 school board districts and we'll have 7 commission districts. Because the 6 would still look just like they do right now. So you'd have somebody who, you know, would be voting in Ashland City as a district with a commissioner, but then they'd be voting on a school board member from the 5th district, because 5th district now, you know, comes up into that area. So those are the things, and I'd rather us do it now where we can talk it out like we need to and make the decision, rather than getting to the point it's too late to get it through the legislature, because that's what it's going to take. And again, the closer we get there, you know, it just falls off the radar to some degree. And at this point, I thought it was a good time, because really in the last 5 years, we've had that, you know, 0.5 to 1% growth, so we're not going crazy. And of course, that could change between now and 2030. Anything could change. But if we stay on track like we're doing right now, I think we'd still be in good position where 7 would work out very well.
Anybody else?
The other information I had in the packet, we signed a grant totaling $84,400 with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. I did approve the reappointment of James Hedgepad to the River Road Utility Board, whoever that guy is. And then number 3, I signed the mental health transport grant, which totaled $52,670. I'll be glad to take on any questions.
All right, Mr. Blythe?
I don't have anything. Commissioner Lovell was going to ask me a question now.
I was. The rustic hills, right, Bob? Can you give us an update on that road? That's the woman who spoke about the road that she thinks is in the county, but we're not sure, and I just wanted to get an update.
So Franklin sent me a subdivision plat and a survey. There was originally a subdivision plat filed in 1977, and it divided up a number of lots along Pond Creek, and then it divided up some lots going down Rustic Hills. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 lots deep onto Rustic Hills. And it didn't deal with any of the lots beyond that. And it showed Rustic Hills going that far back. Subsequently, there was it wasn't a subdivision plat. It was not approved by the county because all the lots were more than 5 acres, so it didn't require planning commission approval or any county approval. And that continued the road on beyond that. It appears, and the superintendent could confirm, but it looks like the county maintains the first part of Rustic Hills. So it's the part shown on the 1977 subdivision, but doesn't maintain beyond that. And so beyond that has never been offered to the county to be a county road in anything that I've seen. So it is a private road beyond there, and beyond the first 4 lots. And it's private property, and the county is not authorized to maintain that. And in order to make it a county road, they would have to figure out who owns that road at this point, and it may be multiple people. They would have to offer it to the county, and the county has adopted a policy that it won't accept roads in this situation until they are built, until they are improved up to county standards. So
we maintain 2/10 of a mile Rustic Hills. And like I said, it turns into a private road situation. There's actually all iron gates that say private drive on both sides of that. And I've talked to the lady, very nice lady, regarding that. Communicated
The 2 tents that the county maintains is those 4 lights close to
Yes, ma'am.
concrete.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bob.
But I've got a pile of paperwork. We did a extensive word search. Anything to do with rustic hills and this, the papers just kept growing. And every indication that I've had, this has come up with every road super, the last 4 road superintendents, this issue has come up by different individuals. I don't think this particular lady has been there that long.
I don't think so. I think you're right.
But it's been an issue for the last 4 administrations, all the way back to Jerry Carney. It needs a event that has been basically squashed. Says it's not a county road. And if the road ends at the private drive signs. That's where we're at today. Where we're going to be.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for the attorney? All right. Ms. Perry, anything? Road Superintendent, you have anything else for us? Good news?
I've said enough.
Getting your new tractor? Mr. Sheriff, everybody behaving? No? School board? Nothing else? I don't see anybody else. Fair board,
We meet Saturday.
emergency services?
I got 2 things. First thing is their Pleasant View is moving forward with, Pleasant View Fire Department's moving forward with the baby box that was originated from the leadership, the last leadership class. That was their class project. So they're about to start, they got things worked out there, so they're about to start with construction and things like that to move forward with that. So soon, Pleasant View Fire Department will have what's called a baby box. It's just a safe place for you, for any newborn to be placed by the mother that wishes to give up the child. So they're a very good item. There's several in Tennessee that's been utilized right now, and they've actually gotten some babies dropped in those. So pretty positive outcomes, but Pleasant View's moving forward with theirs, and they're about to start stuff with that. The second thing is, this is also from Pleasant View Fire, and Chief Hogan is here too, in case you guys have any questions, but their donation letters are about to go out to the rural parts of their fire district. There were some things that were asked to be changed, and they were changed and then sent back to Chief Hogan for him to review, and I think the mayor might have seen some of them and approved. So just wanted to tell everybody that they were about to go out. So if anybody asked Mr. Walter or Bill, that they're about to come out, and I read it too. I felt like it was pretty straightforward, pretty open, so I didn't feel like they were hiding any information or anything like that. It looked like a pretty well-written flyer. So, but other than that, that's all I got.
Any questions?
BJ, what's the hours on the ambulance at Thomas in days?
Oh,
I had somebody call me about it.
The one at Henrietta?
No, Thomas. Wasn't there supposed to be one Thomas?
No, it's at the old Henrietta Fire Hall.
Okay. What days?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday?
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. 6 A to 6 P.
Thank you.
It's all good.
Anybody have anything for him? Capital improvements?
No, sir.
County rules? Road and bridge?
Road and Bridge, we lowered the speed limit on 4 roads from 40 to 35. One of them being Fred Binkley Road, Blue Springs Road, Bennett Road, and Peter Pond Road. They were all 40 mile an hour, or lower than 35.
Bring it up on the 20th for a vote. Bring it on, bring it up for a vote. Anything
Just
else?
don't put speed humps on them.
Speed cushions.
Speed cushions.
We got horses on Peter Pond, so.
Any other new business?
You know, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
It's not part of entry procedure, I know. I'm gonna back up and tell you about, Ed Harris Road. We should finish, state aid paving Ed Harris Road tomorrow, we both doing. And then come Monday morning, we're going to be on, Oak Park and Pike from 49 to Walker Cemetery, and all the schools for a small break. Hopefully, the good Lord shines on us next week, so we can complete that school. Back in session. Won't guarantee it, but I sure hope we can make that happen.
I have one more question for Bob. Did you talk to T-Dot about flashing light, a mirror, something there on River Road at
Yes,
that road?
yes, well, yes, I did, to no avail.
We've tried several
Didn't
times.
get much traction there, but we'll tell you, the mirror situation, we've tried that on a number of different situations. I think James can tell you about this too. We've installed those, they're not cheap, starting. They don't last 2 weeks.
What's that about?
These mirrors,
Oh,
they
no,
don't last.
Somebody shoots them.
They get knocked out.
Ball.
Hits them with a ball.
Shoots them.
Well, there's one on Bell Street here in town, and it's useless.
Gibbs Road, isn't it Gibbs Road? You can't see a thing going out there.
Yeah, yeah.
But T-Dot will not talk to us about doing anything to it.
Ed Harris Road and Lockersville Road. Are we gonna be able to get some striping on Lockersville to end the confusion?
Yes.
Thank you
I've
so
already
much.
talked to Kurt Rose regarding
Thank
that.
you, Bob.
It's gotta be separate. They're gonna bill us separate for that portion because state aid is very particular about that.
That is,
You're talking about where we left the stop sign out, we took the other one out.
I'm talking about Lockersville Road coming.
Right.
Through there, yeah.
Well, I'll just say, and I wasn't able to, I got tied up at the bus garage last week, so I wasn't able to attend the road and bridge. But when they're coming up that hill and you have traffic coming this way, when anybody wants to try to turn, they don't have a stop here, anybody that's trying to turn left to get onto Ed Harris, if they're not paying attention or yielding, they're gonna get blasted by the cars coming in that same mode of travel to go to Ed Harris as well. Just something to think about. I don't think we should put a stop sign there again. I was totally in favor of removing the stop sign, but I've noticed on multiple occasions, because I'm up and down that road, because we have buses go up through there all the time, that the people that are coming up the hill, they want to go left onto Ed Harris, but this person's coming this way. If they're not paying attention and yielding, they're going to get blasted. So just, I don't know what we could put there, yield on a left turn. I don't know.
Maybe you need speed cushions there.
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, Bob, I said something to you a while back, and I noticed this today, because a gentleman called me and told me about it. And I did say something to you, I think, maybe a month or so ago, but I had never seen it until today. I went to the landfill over there today, Sands Creek. When you come out, if you look toward Ashland City, there's a speed limit sign right there. I think it's 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, and I know it's a state road. But the gentleman was telling me, he said, man, that's right in the line of sight when you look to the right, and he's right.
I talked to Tosh Blackburn about that, T-Dot, they're gonna see about moving that.
It just needs to be moved down or back in a little bit, but it could be a problem. I can see where he's coming from with that.
You noticed that today, 'cause I was under the impression they were gonna get that done for.
No, Well, it wasn't done before, I was over about 10, 11 o'clock, and it was, yeah.
Anybody else have anything? Any announcements?
Mr. Simpkins' funeral, 101-year-old veteran, be Saturday. Visitation be 11 to 1. Funeral will be at 1. Burial will be at Kearney Cemetery on Marybone Road.
Today's the governor's birthday, if anybody wants to send him a happy birthday.
Hey.
Mr. Chairman, I'm completely out of order here, but there was something else I meant to mention. There's a law that was passed in 1989 that gives the county commission the power to approve new landfills in the county. And it's a law that you have to opt into. And Cheatham County is not on the list of counties that have opted in to this law. So currently, approval of a new landfill in Cheatham County would be completely up to Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation without input from the county. Now, I was recently at a seminar and they were discussing this, and they said, make sure your county is opted into this law. So the question is whether you're interested in opting into this law whereby the county commission would have approval of new landfills coming into the county. It would be any landfill anywhere in the county, including within city limits. In the case of ones in city limits or within 1 mile of city limits, the city would have to approve it as well. But if that is something that you're interested in pursuing, I can start getting that together. We can discuss it further at the next meeting.
I think we all got emails about it today.
Today?
Is it Jackson Hall?
Yeah, yes. Who'd you get emails from? I talked to the mayor about it today. Did they come from the mayor or somebody else?
I didn't see anything on it. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
It's a group, Pat Couples sent it on behalf of local, let our communities act locally.
What a coincidence.
I think it's a webinar next Tuesday.
I say that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Let's get it done.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, well, I'll start drafting legislation. We may need another meeting to talk about it, but we'll start working on it.
All right, anybody else got anything? Any announcements? Motion adjourned.
Motion.